Hey, what's up everyone? Welcome back to my channel. I am going to be doing a sewing challenge for myself. So I have this pair of jeans. These are Levi's jeans and they're boot cut, and I'm going to take these apart and make it into a skirt. It's going to be a maxi skirt. So I'm just going to show you all the steps that I'm going to take to transform this into a skirt. So first step is to just take out all the seams. And also at the back, I'm going to completely open this back part up. So I'm going to take out the stitches there. I'm going to open up the waistband a little bit because I'm going to take all of this in and then I'm going to reattach it. And then on the front, I'm going to take out the stitching up to the zipper line. So that's going to be opened up. So now I'm going to flip the skirt inside out and lay it on its side and line everything up on its side. So this is the back, and I'm just lining this whole back seam up with the other side of the back seam so that I can sew these two together all the way down with a straight stitch. I'm just going to use this basic black thread. Hopefully this is strong enough. I don't have any special needles or anything. I'm just going to see what I can do with my normal needles and this normal thread. So I'm just going to sew a straight stitch all the way down. I'm going to get as close to the edge here as I can to give myself enough room. And I just wanted to point out that I did purchase these jeans at the Goodwill specifically so that I can transform them into a skirt. That was the initial plan. So I'm going to close this up in the middle the same way I did for the back. So I'm going to fold it inside out and lay it on its side. And then once it's sewed together, it's going to be obviously extremely tight to put on, but that's when I'll open up the sides and come all the way up to about here and insert the other leg from the other jeans. So I'll just show you all that in the next few steps. So here's what I did for the top part. The front panel is the zipper part. This, I just laid it flat because this would have been bulging out. So I flattened it down. I'm just going to top stitch this all the way down, and then when it gets to this middle part, that's where I'm just turning it to its side, and I will continue pinning it down so that these two open edges can be sewn together. So I'm hoping that the transition from a top stitch to a side stitch doesn't look crazy, but I'm going to sew it together and let's see, we'll see how it looks. So now that this is attached, I'm going to cut up the side seams like I did for the front and the back. Here's the skirt laid out and the sides are cut open. So I have another pair of jeans that I just purchased from the Goodwill to fill this in right here. It's not an identical match, but the graining seems similar and it's a nice dark blue. So what I'm going to do is just turn these over and I'm going to cut the legs off, but I need probably like the entire leg. So from the bottom all the way up to about here. And I'm going to remove the pockets because I want to use those probably for something else. But I'm going to take this whole thing and I'm not even going to cut the seams. I am going to cut the seams for the pocket, but for the leg portion, I'm just going to cut the jean straight down. And then I will pin these legs into the sides of the skirt. And then I'll sew everything up and then I'll try it on and style it and see how it looks. Okay, the skirt is finished. Well, pretty much. I think I might go back and do one other thing. So I got this denim, it's jean colored thread. I just picked this up. But because I got this, I was thinking about just sewing this down and making that double stitch show back up. So I think I will do that, and it'll just be a little test of this thing. But everything is sewed on the sides. I'm going to leave it just like this. I tried to make it as even as possible with that little triangle, but it is there going all the way down on both sides. There's the other side. And I'm going to just clean up some of the strings. I'm going to go in here and cut out the extra material that's there. And oh, I am going to just clean up the edges. Okay, one other thing, I actually forgot all about this. I just cut this because at first I didn't even seal up the back, but I just made this a little bit tighter because this top part was a tad loose, so I just made a quick stitch going down. I did that there to tighten this part, and then I just faded it down there. So now I just cut the band, and I'm just going to sew it back together like this, like back to back. And then once I get this in a straight line, I'm just going to sew a single stitch going straight down. And then once that's sealed together, I'll attach it back onto here. And that's another good thing why I have this denim thread, because then once I make the seams going this way, everything will match. So I'll just basically put seams back over these lines here, and then this part will be all completed. I'm almost done with the stitching, but I just want to show how I'm doing it. This is the first time working on something like this, so I mean, it's not coming out perfect, but it blends well enough, I think. So what I'm doing is just going up. So you see, this is where the stitch ended. So I'm just going to go up a little bit away from that, staying on the blue line that's already here, and then just going back over and trying to get as close to this space as possible and pushing it back in through the thread that's right behind it. Pulling it through, and then I'll do it again. And that's all I'm doing. It would be nice if the machine could handle this thread, and maybe if I had a different needle, it probably could, but I'm not doing all that. So by hand is not so bad. Now, it would be nice if I would go down there and do the whole thing, but doing this by hand, not happening. Now I marked the back of the skirt. I decided I'm going to put a split up the back. So I'm just going to cut this seam open again. And then I'm going to top stitch the edges down. And I'm planning to use this thread that I just found. The denim thread is much too thick for the machine. So I think I can possibly use this. I don't know if this big opening is going to affect how it holds on the sewing machine. But it kind of matches, and I don't really want to go out and try to find a different thread.